Tune into good memories. Knowing this, you have to be proactive. When negative memories come back to the movie screen of the mind, many people pull up a chair, get some popcorn, and watch it all again. They'll say, "I can't believe they hurt me. That was so wrong." Instead, remember this. That's not the only movie playing. There is another channel that's not playing back your defeats, your failures, or your disappointments. This channel features your victories, your accomplishments, and the things you did right. The Good Memory channel plays back the times you were promoted, you met the right person, you bought a great house, and your children were healthy and happy. Instead of staying on that negative channel, switch over to your victory channel. You will not move forward into better days if you're always replaying the negative things that have happened. We've all been through loss, disappointments, and bad breaks, so those memories will come to mind most often. The good news is you have the remote control. Just because the memory comes up doesn't mean you have to dwell on it. Learn to change the channel. A couple of years after my father died, I stopped by my mother's house to pick up something. Nobody was home. As I walked through the den, I immediately began to recall the night my father died. He had a heart attack in that very room. I could see him lying on the floor. By the time I got there on the day he died, the paramedics were shocking him, trying to get his heart to restart. The whole night played out in my mind, and I could feel the same emotions. Then I did what I'm asking you to do. I said, "No thanks, I'm not going there. I'm not reliving that night. I'm not feeling those same sad and depressing emotions." I chose to change the channel. I started to remember all the great times we had together, the times we laughed and had fun, and traveled around the world. I focused on the time we went down the Amazon River and the times my father played with our son Jonathan. There was another channel, I just had to switch to it. Do you need to start changing the channel? Are you reliving every hurt, disappointment, and bad break? As long as you are replaying the negative, you'll never fully heal. It's like a scab that's starting to get better, but it will only get worse if you pick at it. Emotional wounds are the same way. If you're always reliving your hurts and watching them on the movie screen of your mind, talking about them and telling your friends, that's just reopening the wound. You have to change the channel. When you look back over your life, can you find one good thing that has happened? Can you remember one time where you know it was the hand of God promoting you, protecting you, and healing you? Switch over to that channel. Get your mind going in a new direction. A reporter asked me not long ago what my biggest failure has been. My biggest regret. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I don't remember what my biggest failure was. I don't dwell on that. I'm not watching that channel. We all make mistakes. We all do things we wish we had done differently. You can learn from your mistakes, but you're not supposed to keep them in the forefront of your mind. You're supposed to remember the things you did right, the times you succeeded, the times you overcame the temptation, the times you were kind to the strangers. Some people are not happy because they remember every mistake that they've made since 1927. They've got a running list. Do yourself a big favor and change the channel. Quit dwelling on how you don't measure up and how you just should have been more disciplined. Should have stayed in school or should have spent more time with your children. You may have fallen down, but focused on the fact that you got back up. You're here today. You may have made a poor choice, but dwell on your good choices. You may have some weaknesses, but remember your strengths. Quit focusing on what's wrong with you and start focusing on what's right with you. You won't ever become all you were created to be if you are against yourself. You have to retrain your mind. Be disciplined about what you dwell on. Several years ago, I was playing basketball with our son Jonathan. We've played one-on-one for years. For the first time, he beat me fair and square, 15-14. I gave him a high five. Then I told him he was grounded. During the game, at one point, Jonathan dribbled around me and went up for a shot. I came out of nowhere, timed it just right, and blocked his shot. I swatted the ball away and it went flying into the bushes. I felt like an NBA star. A couple days later, we went to the gym to play with some friends. Jonathan said, "Dad, tell everybody what happened the other night." I said, "Oh yeah, Jonathan went up for this shot and I must have been this high in the air and I blocked it and it was something else." He said, "No, Dad, I meant tell them how I beat you for the first time." What's funny is I didn't remember my defeat. I remembered my victory. The first thing that came to my mind wasn't that I lost the game to him, but the fact that I did something good. It's because I've trained my mind to remember the right things. For many people, it's just the opposite. They won the game, but they remember all the mistakes they made. They never feel good about themselves. They're always focused on something they didn't do enough. It's all in how you train your mind. It depends on what channel you're watching. Don't make the mistake of remembering what you should forget, whether it's your hurts, your disappointments, or your failures. Don't forget what you should remember, your victories, your successes, and the hard times you overcame.